Hi everybody, this is my second video that I'm going to be posting to my channel. Wanted to say good evening and to let you know that one of the most important things that I'm going to be posting, one is information, and two, also one-on-one lessons that I've learned along the way, both for mental health and court. So I believe that those two things go hand in hand. They're tied together and they go in tandem. And I think it's really important to address both of them. And there's going to be a lot of topics that I talk about, and the topics aren't really going to matter as much of what order they come in, depending on where you're at in the process of the legal system. Something that I think is really important may not be important to you. Something that you may need to know later on may be what you need to know now. So I'm going to create a list of topics. I'm going to randomly choose them, except for today. Today's topic that I'm going to talk about is documentation, and I think it's really important to address that first. Make sure that that's part of the whole process of what needs to be understood with the legal system, and also for your mental health. And for me, both of those things have to go together. And I will say that some of my topics may be very hard to hear. Some of my topics may have triggers, and I will definitely put that in the title before I post it so that people are aware of it. And I hope that even though it might be difficult to hear and it may trigger some thoughts of what may happen in your life or has happened in your life, that hearing it from someone else's perspective will also go a long way and help you, or the person that may be needing to hear it, go along with the process of how to move forward in that. And to me, I think that's really important. The first thing that I do want to make sure that I address is the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is that how you show up in court is really how things are going to happen in court. And you know, if you're a hot mess in court, it's going to reflect on you that you're a hot mess in court. And that could either be from nerves, it could be from mental issues, that could be from just stress. So it's really important to take care of your mental health when you're dealing with court, because like I said, there's two sides of this. One is people that deal with this on a daily basis, people that deal with this constantly because they have to, one, because it's their job, or two, because they're in the system, knowing that they have to maneuver through it, filing motions, replying to motions, going in front of the court, asking for continuances, however the situation is for a particular person. But then also second, which is the boat that I've been in for many, many years, is that you learn along the way. And sometimes with not knowing what you're having to deal with, it puts you in a very agitated state, puts you in an uncomfortable state of mind. And there's only so much that you can do and control. And the one thing that you should and really need to control is yourself. You cannot control the outcome of the court. Although you could present evidence to court, the judge may look and rule favorably or not so favorably, depending on how things are. Like I said in my first video, you will definitely find out who you get in the courtroom will definitely determine how things are played out. I can tell you that one of the most important things that I can say is my mental health has really taken a back seat, and that was at the very beginning of this process. And I have had to learn along the way with people who have showed up and helped me and spoken to me for hours when a lot of things were happening in my life that I just did not know and didn't understand. I had to take those advice, techniques, mechanisms, whatever it was, and just show up that one day and really just be present and try to understand what I was going through. One of the biggest things that I've always referenced and I think about all the time is the book, Oh, the Places You'll Go. Sounds funny, but it's not. This is my most favorite Dr. Seuss book. And because it's my favorite Dr. Seuss book, it's because I believe that this is a book for the adults, for you to understand later in life exactly what he means. And so the one thing that I want to talk about first with the legal system is documentation. Documentation is so important. 101 documentation. Either you do it writing things down, putting it in a journal, creating a space in your folder for email, save everything, including text messages, including threads that you do. I can tell you right now, everything and anything that you say can and will be used against you. Hello, that's exactly what people say when they're arrested from the law enforcement. And everything you say will be used against you or to help you. So Be very careful what you say. In this world of technology, we never know who is filming us, who is recording us. I unfortunately have had the displeasure of finding out later that things that I have said had been recorded. And did it go well for me? I don't know. I don't know if it was used against me or not, but be very sure of what you're saying. I will say it right now. I don't like liars, and I do everything in my power to push forward the issue of be honest, and be very careful what you say and how you answer it. The legal system does not care whether or not what you're saying is the truth. They want the proof that what you're saying is the truth. And that being said, your documentation comes into play. I have had many times where my mental health, I have had to talk to myself. I've had to learn to really go back in my head and think, did I write this down? Did I not write this down? What did I say? How did I say it? And so I have tons of documentations. Right now, I probably, with the court case that I'm dealing with, about 4 2 to 3 inch size binders, huge binders that have every single legal documentation that I've had to present to the court, that the court has had to present from the opposing side, witness testimony, documentation from transcripts, statements from credit cards, statements through text messaging, through talking parents. I have all of that, and you might not think you need it. I've even saved emails from counselors that I've spoken to at my children's school, not realizing if I would need it. Years later, I have needed it, and it has come in very handy for me to have that information. The only one who's going to fight as hard for you is going to be you. Even if you have a lawyer, your lawyer has you plus however many cases they have that they're trying to represent, and you're hoping that that lawyer, paralegal, that office from the lawyer is doing their best, and majority of the time they are. But just remembering how busy your case can be, how time consuming your case can be for yourself, multiply that times however many cases that they have. And yes, understandably, lawyers don't have cases that go to court all the time, but there is constant movement of motions that have to be filed, motions that have to be responded to, exhibits that have to be presented, witnesses that have to be subpoenaed or notified that they need to be at court, questions that need to be addressed to the court, questions that need to be addressed to explain exhibits, to explain what witnesses may or may not say, either in your favor or against you. It's really important that you do your due diligence to save, document what you want to be heard, how you want it to be presented. You are paying your lawyer, whether or not it's actual cash, but the fact that they have your case in front of you, it is so important that they know where you stand as far as how you want your case presented to the court. You cannot worry about what the other side is going to present. It's important that you are aware of it so that you have a counter argument for them, but your documentation that you have is going to be your life-saving grace. That is going to be the nectar of what fuels and feeds your case to go in front of a judge and allow that judge to make a determination. Remember, the judge sees this much of your time in your life, and there is this much of your life that you have experienced, either good or bad, and you cannot see my hands. Exactly, it's way out there, and you have to make sure that everything that you want them to know is condensed into this little time frame of whatever the judge sees in front of you for that period of time that you're in their court. And the judges have understood what the law is, and they may or may not make a determination on what they actually can come to a conclusion if there's not the right evidence. So all I can tell you right now, please make sure that your documentation is what you need. Even if you think you don't need it, anything that is relevant to what could happen in your case, save it. Save text messages, don't delete them, save them to screenshot them, save them to your file, send them to your computer, print them out. I know that people say all the time, technology anymore, you don't need to have paper, killing the trees, yada, yada, yada. I believe in all of that too. But sometimes you need that tangible piece of paper. You need that tangible piece of paper to flip, look through, highlight, do something. And in courts, I'm going to tell you right now, courts want to see it. Courts want to be able to look at it, touch it, and read it, and reference back to it. So at some point, you are going to have to print some paperwork out 3 times. One for yourself, one for the opposing party, and one for the judge. 3 copies. They all need to be the same information. Whether or not your copy has highlighted information, stuff that you need to make sure you address when that information is presented, 3 copies. But it's always great to know that that first copy you have is your copy, which is why I have probably 3 or 4 binders, including legal boxes of paperwork that I need to make sure I have, and if I need to go through and reference it, go through and grab it and use it. Documentation. So I can tell you that right now. The second thing that I want to touch base on before I say goodbye to today's message is, lovingly love yourself. Like I said before in the very beginning of this video, you go into court looking like a hot mess, going into court mentally not prepared, it's going to be hard for you. It's going to be hard for you to stay focused. It's going to be hard for you to address the court in a way that you want the court to see you. And you want the court to see you in the way that's the most positive way for you. Doesn't mean that you can't be emotional. It doesn't mean that you can't be a person that shows where you're at because of the situation that the court is seeing you. It just means that you have to be able to compose yourself in a way that's going to allow you to be the best version of yourself. Not the happiest version. That's not what I'm saying in any capacity, but the best version of yourself. So, I will reference people all the time and I will give them credit. So the first person I'm going to reference is Mary Kay. Yes, Mary Kay, the cosmetic queen that's no longer with us. One of the things, because I used to have Mary Kay as my product and I used to sell it, one of her biggest statements is, show up every day ready. Show up every day. Get up, get ready, take a shower, put your makeup on, and put yourself together and go out. That is probably one of the biggest things that I can tell you. Get up, get ready. Don't stay in the funk that you went to bed in. Energy is energy, good or bad. The universe doesn't know the difference. They just know it's the energy that you have. So the energy that you give out, that's the energy that's going to be where you need to be for that day. Get up, take a shower, put some makeup on. Don't put makeup on if you don't want to. That's fine too. But just be there, wake up, be present for today. I can also tell you that throughout this process, one of the biggest things that I've learned is to just keep myself calm. Do I succeed every day? Nope. So one of the things that I can tell you that I've learned that has dramatically helped me is to keep my stress levels down. Tension is in your jaw, it's in your shoulders, it's in your neck. When I go to my mental health therapy and I talk, the one thing that I have learned that I love to say that I use every single day is, I know that my jaw is just constantly stressed and tight and I'm always like grinding my teeth. And the one thing that before I say his name, because I want to make sure when I talk to him I can use him fairly and release his name knowing that I'm going to say his name, but the technique that he told me is just put your tongue on the roof of your mouth. It forces you to relax. I didn't realize it until I did it. I promise you. The minute you realize your jaw is tight, touch your tongue to the top of your mouth, the roof of your mouth. Let it go. I promise. It's one little thing, but it is one little thing that will help throughout the day. And then everybody's shoulders just kind of go up. I know it seems so silly, but just drop. Push down and drop. Release the tension. Are you going to get tight again? Is your tension going to come back? Yeah, it's going to come back, but just drop it. Lift the tongue and let it go. If you have to do it 100 times a day, times 100, it's okay. But I promise it will help. When you're aware of what you're feeling, you're aware of what you're doing, you can fix it. The other thing that I'm going to suggest, and maybe it'll work for you, maybe it won't, is I have 2 books that I feel can help. 101 for law is what you can do. 101 for yourself, to love yourself. 2 books, and I don't care which one they are. For you, I suggest just grab one and read it. The first one is Iyanla Vanzant, In the Meantime. I've read this book a couple times, and this book is absolutely amazing. This book talks about yourself, what's going on in your head, how to get yourself ready for it's about relationships, but the biggest relationship that you need to be aware of is the relationship about yourself. And that book really helps you understand. I've given this book and I've passed this book on to at least 3 or 4 other people. I want this book worn and used, and I have signed something I feel is important, the person that I gave it to read. And it's a working process for you to understand what you're going through. And I promise you, this book will manifest and get you to think in a different frame that you may not want to. And then the second book, it's called The Dream Giver by Bruce Wilkinson. And I can never remember this book. And I've read it a couple times, and my friend Christina always had to remind me what the name of this book is. But this book, The Dream Giver, is for you to just know that everyone has a dream. Everyone knows something about themselves that nobody else knows. And these are the things that you can do to help yourself and put you in a state of mind that's going to help you. So those 2 books, I'm not saying read them both, and I'm not saying read either one of them. What I'm saying is one of those books might be something that you need right now, just to kind of help you balance and just settle for just a little bit, just to get your mind a little bit. If none of that is what you're willing to do, the only other thing I can say is just write down something. The only way we can work through our emotions, the only way we can work through our pain, is to understand what our pain is and to understand what's happening. And when we're in the legal system, we never realize just how much hurt we're feeling until the legal system reminds us that you're involved with this legal system for one reason or another. And the opposing party will remind you without even having to tell you that you're the problem. Because of course, both sides want the other side to look bad. And I've had to accept the fact that that's not really fair, but it's the truth. And the only way you can get through that process is to really take a step back, understand what you're going through, and understand that there's a lot of pain that's coming through, especially when you're in the legal system at no fault of your own, or even at fault of your own. I can tell you that I am not ever going to ask you to do something that I haven't done myself. I'm always going to say that this is something that I tried, it didn't work. This is something I tried, it absolutely does work. I suggest at some point of this journey that you're on that you might try it. I've always attempted to try something, maybe not at the moment that it was given to me, like, hey, you should probably do this, but it's always come back into my thought processes. And sometimes I've started it, got on the platform and said, no, I'm not doing it. And then another time I was like, okay, I think I can strap in, go for the ride, and let's do this. So I did write some of my most inner thoughts at a point where I felt a lot had happened and a lot had changed. So I will read one of my journals that I wrote. And I just want you to know that I'm not reading this to make you feel some sort of way about me. What I'm doing is I'm reading this because I want you to understand that I've been through it myself. So I wrote this on November 23rd of 2023. So it's been a while, but it still resonates with me, and it's still something that I have to process and move through. So what I wrote is, I still know my demons' names. I still know the sound of their growl. I still know when they escape, and then they surround me, showing me no mercy. Grabbing my heart and squeezing it until my chest hurts and aches. And it burns. Burying my face in their hands, not to comfort me, but to smother the breath that I so desperately need to take. Reminding me I haven't starved them enough or hidden the key well enough to keep them locked, keeping them locked up. I still know my pain feeds them. My tears quench their thirst. My lack of self-worth strengthens them. My loneliness is not their reciprocity. And yet, my feeling of unworthiness gives them joy. I have fooled myself, never my demons. This part of me has never escaped the closed door that was never locked. My demons still know my fear. My demons still know all my broken pieces. My demons still know me better than I know myself. They still know I haven't won. I only want to end with that because I still am in the process. I'm still in the journey. I'm still trying to figure things out. And because of that, I still am broken. And yet I still want to be able to help someone, because it doesn't matter if I'm not going to wait until I'm healed, because nothing is ever really going to be fully healed. Nothing is ever going to be completely gone. So with that being said, I hope today the 2 lessons that I gave you, the lesson in love, the L and L, will help you to see things in a little bit of a different perspective. I hope today may have grounded you a little bit, to let you feel that the earth is still beneath you, that there is still moments of clarity that you can find within yourself. Even if that clarity doesn't feel like it's going to fix anything, at least the clarity that you know is there is still a possibility that tomorrow is still going to happen, even if tomorrow doesn't look like what you expected it to look like, because today looks nothing like what you wanted today to look like. Until tomorrow or another time that we meet, peace and love. And I hope that this journey that you will be moving through will be less bumpy than mine. If there's anything that you would like me to look into and find and topic about, a topic that you would like to hear discussed, please put that in the comments, because my goal is to move forward in love, and the journey that I'm moving in will be information that maybe I didn't think needed to be discussed, but I always am willing to look into it, because if it can help you, it can help me, and if it can help me, it can help someone else. So until we meet again, until the universe brings us into an enlightenment that we need to see something different, I am here. I am not worthy of anything that is in front of me, but I am always willing to accept the challenge, and for all that it's worth, you are worth it. You are worth the time, and you are worth, no matter what you say, no matter what anybody else tries to convince you, you are enough. Peace and love. Bye.